Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining in. You know, sometimes I feel that we can all suffer from media fatigue, especially all the bad news and the bad news stories. And it's really difficult to sell something so horrible as women affected by violence in conflict zones and material like that, let's be honest about it. But nonetheless, yeah, it's tiring. If I sound tired, it's because I am. Just covering this event today and subsequent events that we've had at the European Parliament. If the European Parliament in turn, or any parliament, has a function, I think, particularly the European Parliament, I have to be short here, is that it can highlight humanitarian events and causes and awards, as you'll see in the first part of this video, covered by a fellow EU journalist from Ireland, Paul Cunningham, who does a great job there. It's the story of Malala. I have to confess, when I first saw the full version of this, I wasn't in the chamber at the time, but I was in the Parliament, just to prove that I'm not a macho man. It literally brought tears to my eyes, this story.
This week, MEPs gathered in Strasbourg to honour a Pakistani schoolgirl who has inspired people around the world for her bravery and steel. Malala Yousafzai was shot in the head by the Pakistani Taliban a year ago because she campaigned for better rights for girls. She survived that attack, continued with her campaign, and on Wednesday collected this year's Sakharov Prize for freedom of thought. To sustained applause, Malala entered the hemicycle in Strasbourg with her father and supporters. Malala rose to international prominence while writing an anonymous blog for the BBC about her life under Taliban rule and, in particular, girls being deprived in education. Her campaign came at grave personal risk, as later public statements led to death threats. One day as she travelled to school with friends, Taliban militants stopped the bus and shot her. The bullet entered her head above the eye, grazed her brain, but somehow she survived. Named after a Pashtun poet and warrior woman, Malala's strong voice and direct approach drew several standing ovations as she appealed for a change in how nations look at themselves.
The powerful country shall not be judged by counting its soldiers and navy, but rather we must see which country has the highest literacy rate, which country has more educated people, which country has provided the basic rights to its citizens, which country and these children, they do not want an iPhone, an Xbox, a PlayStation or chocolates. They just want a book and a pen. Thank you so much.
If blood will flow when flesh and steel are one, drying in the color of the evening sun, tomorrow's rain will wash the stains away, but something in our minds will always stay. Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch a lifetime's argument that nothing comes from violence and nothing ever could. For all those born beneath an angry star, lest we forget how fragile we are. On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are.
So just to finish, there we are, everybody. I as I said at the start, it's all very heavy going, but there we are, that's life. And people get fatigued, and there's so many causes, and you're like, hey Sky, leave me alone. There are too many things, I can't worry about everything all the time, but what can you do? What I do is this, and I share the story with you, and heartbreaking stuff. But there are happy stories too, so you gotta give me a fair shout on this channel. I'll bring in some of the silly stuff, the funny stuff, and the sad stuff as it comes along. And that's life, c'est la vie. Alors, merci bien et à la prochaine. See you next time. Bye bye.